is a Group 1 week in Hong Kong, but before we get to Sha Tin on Sunday, we're at Happy Valley on Wednesday night for a 9-race program. Welcome to Racing to Win, where we have it covered for you all on the show, and a big show with plenty of information too. Some of the bigger names of Hong Kong racing out at the Sha Tin trials on Tuesday morning. Time to welcome to the panel Tom Wood and Nick Child. And Nick, this meeting on Wednesday night has got a bit of quality about it.
Yeah, it certainly has. Look, I think the two races that we're going to preview for you on this show certainly are very strong races indeed, both 7 and 9. And either side of those, there are some very nice horses running round. So, yeah, look, it's a good competitive card, this one, and certainly looking forward to it.
And the rail, Tom, in the extreme C+3 position.
Certainly is, Mark. C+3. There might be a bit of rain about. There's only one first starter coming up later on the program. There is a jackpot, and Paul's left behind his machine as well to tell us about the jackpots. He's left his passcode as well, 4368, and he's told us there's 4.8 million in the triple trio, which means should get up to around about $9 million for the TT come Wednesday night.
I'm not going to ask where you found that photo. That scared children. So that's all the information for the meeting at Happy Valley. Before we get closer in depth into that, back to the Sha Tin trials this morning. Tom, you're out there calling them in pretty inclement weather, but California Spangle made an appearance, as did Beauty Joy.
He did, and California Spangle was up on the pace in this trial and did move well, and Hong Kong Hall was up there with him as well, and look, he did it comfortably. Wasn't ideal, the track conditions this morning at Sha Tin Tuesday morning. They weren't able to harrow the track, but he had a spin around. He wasn't probably the quickest out of the gates, but he mustered speed to lead pretty quickly in the end, and pretty comfortable in the end for his jockey Brenton Avdulla. So he moved well. Targets remains to be seen what they might sort of run him in towards the end of the season. Still a couple of Group 3 handicaps remaining. Yeah,
look, I think plans are pretty fluid with him from what we can gather. But look, his trial looked good, and as Tom alluded to there, obviously they couldn't pay any attention to the track, so he coped with the conditions really well.
And more from Brenton right now. Nick spoke to Brenton Avdulla following the trial.
Yeah, he's ticking over well. He's come through his run in good order, so yeah, happy with him. The track was obviously a bit ordinary this morning with obviously the rain we've had, so it wasn't ideal, but he still trialled well, pulled up clean, and he definitely needed another good hit out.
I guess just looking ahead towards the end of the season, we'll keep it relatively open, but is there a chance we might see him again? There are a few races that he could take in.
Yeah, look, he's obviously going to carry a big weight in whatever he contests. There's a 1200, the 1400, both Group 3s, but he's probably going to get 135 and give a lot of good, nice enough horses weight. So I'll leave that with Tony to decide which way he goes. But yeah, I'd just be happy to sit on him whichever he goes.
I'm sure you would be. And on the same day that he obviously ran so gallantly in defeat, you rode Beauty Joy. He was beaten 6 lengths on Champions Day. You've trialled him as well. How did he feel to you?
He's come through the race in really good order too, so happy with the way he trialled. Again, he's a horse with gets conditions to suit. If they go quick, he'll relax and he'll finish hard, and seems to handle most conditions. So I think a Group 2, Group 3 racing is good for him. He obviously runs well at the Group 1s, but I think once he finds that sweet spot, the Group 2, Group 3 racing in the handicaps, he runs really well.
There is Brenton talking about the Tony Cruz pair. Nick, we move on to Casper's gone a little outside the square for the Group 1 on Sunday, the champions in Chater. He trialled straight Aaron on the all-weather this morning.
He did indeed, yeah. And look, he's been kept wide there, as you can see, by Vincent Ho, just to keep him out of that kickback. So he's look, you could say slightly fresher surface there. You can see towards the outside, not quite as churned up, but yeah, look, interesting move to trial him the week of the race, of course. And you know, it doesn't work for every horse, but there are some that it certainly can, Tom.
It does, and we know that Casper's been very good at down through the years backing horses up. Not that this is a race day performance for straight Aaron, but backing horses up, and they generally do well. And this horse ran 4th in this race last year. The champions in Chater was only beaten a length and a quarter there, so we're interested to see what he can do. This is 2,000 metres, 2,400. They are his best opportunities to win here in Hong Kong.
They are indeed.
And just to be honest, like, he wouldn't do more in a gallop, to be fair.
No.
So in essence, he's just galloped with colours on, really.
He has. That is straight Aaron. But also out at Sha Tin this morning, Tom, the international raider Rebels Romance had nothing more than a leg stretch around the all-weather.
Sorry, yes, and he did. Rebels Romance looked good coming out onto the track. Actually saw him leave the quarantine centre and stood up on the turf track there and had a look down the straight just past where they will start for the Standard Chartered Champions and Chater Cup this weekend. But it was pretty ordinary conditions once he sort of got out there. We had some heavy rain. It wasn't obviously raining too much at this point, but we did have some heavy rain about the time he went out. But he looks fit, tuned, ready to go. He'll start a short price favourite this weekend.
He certainly will. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, that's Mark Holford actually riding in, former jockey, been with Godolphin a while now, and I had a quick chat with him as he walked past once he'd finished his canters, and look, he was very happy with him. So yeah, there's not a great deal more to do with him.
He's going to take some absolute power of beating is Rebels Romance. One horse that has been there though, won it before. The Champions in Chater is Russian Emperor, and Nick spoke to his trainer, Douglas White.
I sat on him this morning for a turf gallop. He felt amazing. He's strode out beautifully. Obviously, he loved getting his toe in, but it was a good piece of work, and he's on song.
I mean, obviously there's a bit of added interest with the horse from Godolphin coming, Rebels Romance, who clearly is quite smart, and I'm sure we all have the utmost respect for him, but the respect must also go to your horse. I mean, he's won the last 2 runnings of this. This is his race, really.
Oh, it is, and he's been primed for this race. It's been well documented that this is the race I've had in mind all year. And you know, it's the race. He comes good this time of the year. If there's this drop of rain sticks around, that's going to enhance his chances. But look, Rebels Romance is a really good horse. We've seen that the way he won in Dubai. Well, he looks a proper individual.
I spoke to Hugh actually after his run in the Queen Mother Memorial. He seemed to think it was a really nice trial. Were you of the same opinion?
I was. I think he rolled into the race beautifully on the bend. He knocked up the last 150, but he was entitled to with the preparation that he had. But he's got that distance into his legs now, and he's stripped fitter. So it's 3 weeks between that run. So the timing has worked out well.
That is Douglas White, and we'll have a full preview of the Champions in Chater on the weekend edition of Racing to Win, which will be available on Friday. That means we go to Wednesday night now, and all of the information for Happy Valley with the 9-race program on the C+3. Meeting number 74 of the season. The 2 races that we feature on the show, race 7, the Class 3 over the 1,000, and a quality Class 2 over the 1,200 metres. Renfrew Handicappers race number 7, Beauty Waves, unbeaten course and distance. Celestial Colours has the visor off and the blinkers going back on. Sports Legend drops back in trip, races over the 1,000 for just the 2nd time at Happy Valley. Heroic Master has the cheek pieces off and the blinkers going on. Atomic Force, crossover noseband and tongue tie have been added. Fast Service first up since July. He did bleed after a trial in November. Super Fortune, he placed behind Beauty Waves. His only look at the trip, and Midori Glory has his first run in Hong Kong. He was a 2-time winner in New South Wales. The pace here, Tom, is from the first up, Fast Serve.
Yes, and he has got a lot of pace. He jumped into lead in that recent barrier trial leading into this at Happy Valley. Ultimately ran 2nd there, but wasn't tested over the final stages. He's got a lot of pace. Midori Glory's also got some pace now. When he won in Australia, he actually raced off the pace, but he led up in his most recent trial here. You won't miss him with the big bally white face, as well as son of Shooting to Win. Beauty Waves will be handy. It looks tricky for Super Fortune, and Youthful Spirits will be hoping to tuck in and hopefully try and get some cover on the back of something else in the field there. Celestial Colours, they wanted to go forward on him last time out, but didn't end up happening, so we'll see where he ends up, probably in the back half of the field with a good to strong tempo here.
And he carries the big weight again, that does Celestial Colours. But Mark Dunham is our first guest for the Happy Valley preview. Nick spoke to him. He's charged Youthful Spirits.
Mark Noonan, Youthful Spirits, a runner for you on Wednesday night's card. He's only still a lightly raced horse, but you must have been very pleased with his running defeat last time.
Yeah, look, he raced really well. He got control of the race and fought on strongly. You know, he was only beaten in the last couple of strides, his 2nd run in Hong Kong, so, you know, there's more improvement to come.
He's taking on the same horse again in Beauty Waves. Obviously, it's a competitive race, but I guess last time you thought he might just have had his measure in the last little bit.
Yeah, but to be fair to the other horse, he sat 3 deep, no cover. But we do have the advantage of at the weights this time, and the fact that he's had an extra run and he's had a trial since.
How do you feel he's maturing, Mark? I mean, obviously he's coming on nice. His form suggests that with every run he's got better. What is it with him that you've seen change, sort of thing?
Oh, look, his demeanour of a morning and his work's improved greatly. He's quite a fierce-going horse when he arrived. Poor sort of head carriage. He's still got quite a high head carriage, but he's not working himself as hard. So hopefully that translates to a better performance again.
And just for the layman, Mark, what can you do to sort of, you know, try and change that in him with his head? I mean, if they're setting their ways a little bit, horses are horses, I suppose. But what can you do of a morning to try and sort of help him settle and drop that head perhaps?
Oh, look, we've played around with his gear a bit. As you see, you know, he wears the nose roll and things, that just trying to get him to relax more than anything. But and that's been more the focus. He's not much galloping, just teaching him to canter around nicely with his head in a decent position. We've been using the Olympic arena a bit with him, and really just restricting his gallops to from the 1800 metre chute, so he's just galloping in a straight line and not asked to go too quick too often.
He's got a wide draw. We're on the C+3 again. I guess that's the slight concern. I mean, that's Alexi's job to try and overcome that, isn't it, really?
Yeah, look, he's a horse with good natural speed, but look, with fast serve in the race too, it's going to be a fast race. But look, if he can get a position outside leader, you know, that'll give him his chance to win.
I must just ask you just finally as well, Full Credit was pretty good on the weekend again, now a Class 3 winner. He's certainly going the right way.
Yeah, really nice horse. He's progressed really well through the season. His best is still ahead of him. He's only a young horse with not much exposure when he arrived here. He'll probably only have one more run for the season.
And that was a good field that he beat Full Credit on the weekend. Nick, now we move on to Youthful Spirit and your thoughts on him, because you're a bit keen on the horse.
I am indeed, yeah. Look, I think he's got a decent chance. He's better off at the weights there with Beauty Waves, and you know he put up a good fight last time out, and you know he wasn't beaten overly far. And look, there'll be plenty of pace on in this, and you know he might just sit in behind it and make most of it. So I think he's a decent chance, yeah.
Yeah, he looks a good chance in the race. You can see he wanted to fire up a bit in that track work there, so we'll see how he fares from a wide draw of barrier number 10.
On Beauty Waves, Tom, he can't have done any more over the course and distance at Happy Valley. There is his record so far. The HV column makes for pleasant reading.
It does, ever since he's had that stable change, and with racing at Happy Valley, it's suited him down to the ground. Of course, he was beaten in his first couple of runs at Happy Valley behind Bonza Perla and Tomodachi Kokoro, but he hasn't looked back in his last couple. And look, the margin was only ahead last time out, but it was just the manner that he did it. He covered ground and still had the audacity to front up and kick strongly.
We haven't seen Sugar for a little while, Nick. He's had about 8 weeks between races. Couple of trials, they've been only quiet. There he is down on the inside. He's been a 5-time winner over the 1200 metres, unknown over the 1000 at the Valley.
He is, yeah. Look, quite. It's his first go the course and distance. 63 days off since we last saw him, as you say, down the field in those couple of trials. This was his latest run, 4th behind Colourful Emperor. He's obviously been in very good form. Look, he's got a decent enough fresh record. Gets on great with Alfie Channer. I just could fancy others here a bit more than him, though.
There's some good form coming out of that race with, of course, Wings of War winning. Colourful Emperor, we know, has been in good form. Golden Empire's placed second a couple of times, and Harmony and Bless has come out of that race and won. So, fair bit of intertwined form there. I don't think he's the worst here.
That is Sugar with that claim for the Chan and Founds combination. Fast serve, Tom, 2 starts, 2 wins. They've both been in Class 4. He's actually had 5 trials since we've last seen him, but he did have the enforced break as well after one of those trials.
Yeah, of course, he bled in a trial back on the 14th of November, so he's been out for some time. You can just see he was coasting down to the line over the final stages here in the trial. He got out to a big lead last time out when he won over Savvy Delight. Just wanted to run a little bit to scrape the rail, but look, he's coming out of an informed stable at the moment, and look, I think he can win here first up for a long time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. Look, he's a very smart horse. David Hall, obviously, his trainer's in very good form as well. So you must respect the stable's runners. There's a look at his runners there for Wednesday night. He's got Mr. Fox there. Palace Pal, probably on his best, wouldn't be without some sort of chance. Gold Tack a bit the same and fast. So with the latter, I just worry a little bit with the ground. If it does get plenty of rain, it might just blunt that speed because he's very fast.
That is David Hall. Just the 4 runners, but the stable is racing well. Here is the newcomer, Nick. This is Midori Glory. Atomic Force is in this trial on his tail turning for home. He won twice in New South Wales at Goulburn and Taree prior to arriving.
Yeah, both on good ground, both over 1,000 metres, so he clearly possesses plenty of speed. And look, he's done what he's had to do in this trial quite nicely, I thought, actually. Midori Glory only carries a lightweight. He's just a 3-year-old. He's drawn gate 1, so he's in the best place for his debut here in Hong Kong. And well, the other horse has joined a new stable there of Cody Moe, Atomic Force, Tom.
Yeah, should get that nice run through on the inside there. We'll see how that Australian form fronts up, but the trial looked good there, and as I said, you won't miss him with that big white face.
You will not indeed. Who wins it, Tom?
Yeah, I went the way in this race of course, Fast Serve. David Hall, Luke Ferraris, we know he's a speedy customer. I think he can get to the front and dictate from there and to kick right away. He's got a really good strong turn of foot in this straight. Beauty Waves is in, Sugar, and threw in Brave Star as well, who was 4th last time out behind Superb Capitalist. He has been consistent. 8, 1, 3 and 5.
Yeah, gone the 10 here. I think some of these races with a whole load of speed, we might get some pretty nice results as far as prices are concerned. And I think Youthful Spirits might just be the one to be with here. Beauty Waves in for second. Look, he's racing very well. Fast Serve goes in, of course. First up for a long time. And Midori Glory on that trial effort. That looked pretty good as well. 10, 1, 8, 11.
It's break time on Racing to Win. We're going to come back after this and preview race number 9. Welcome back. We are previewing Happy Valley on Wednesday night. This is Racing to Win, and before we get to race number 9, Tom, it is time for the last run reminder, which has just been revealed.
Yes, and it is Packing Wisher who goes round in race number 5 as horse number 8, and last time out he ran really well here at Happy Valley and comes into this with some useful form that he's been slowly improving on, has Packing Wisher in the 5th event on the program. You can see the first section was 0.17 faster than standard, and he was up outside the leader. He got some pressure sort of in that position when another horse came around him, 3 up, racing off the back straight, and even with that he still stayed on quite well here behind Jumbo Legend, who came down the outside to nab them all. Of course, in that race as well was 2 Infinity. He wasn't too far away. We saw what he did the other week. We'll see if he can front up again, but it was a pretty good performance overall, and he keeps on improving. A son of So You Think, 1650 barrier 3.
He was green lit that night too, so it is race 5, number 8, Packing Wisher.
What's your step ladder?
Yeah, I need a step ladder. Don't like the new graphic. Anyway, we move on to race number 9, and it's a Class 2 over the 1200 metres. Bundle of Charms being top 4, 5 out of 8 this course and distance. Majestic Night goes from the 1000 to the 1200, but carries an extra £9 for that last start win. Tomodachi Kokoro comes out of the Group 2 Sprint Cup last time. Colourful Emperor goes up in grade. Gummy has had his best form on the all-weather, but is turf placed. Superb Capitalist is a last start winner, coming to Class 2 for the first time. Harmony and Blessed has won 4 at the 1000, but also 2 over the distance of this race, 1200 metres. Nordic Dragon's been everywhere, 1650, 1000, back up to 1200 metres in what will be 3 consecutive starts. Nick, and there's plenty of pace in this race too.
It certainly is, and he comes into this race here, does Harmony and Blessed with a horse that likes to go forward, and also in the race going forward is Superb Capitalist, Kirpiney's another one, Majestic Night, Tomodachi Kokoro should settle just behind them. Where does Colourful Emperor end up from his stall of barrier number 12? Because he's been going forward, but there's plenty of alternate pace in this race. Humble Star, Nordic Dragon, Bundle of Charm to get back, but a bit like our 7th race, there's a lot of speed in this race, Mark.
Thanks, Tom. Not dealing with change at all. Well, we used to get a Nick first and then Paul. Now Tom's here, and here's Douglas White to talk about Majestic Night.
Yeah, he's held his form well. I think he's improved over the last 6 months, and he's developed into a lovely, strong individual. As honest as the day's long. So yeah, he'll be back, and he's held his form.
Quite versatile as well, I guess, over sprinting distances, because it was 1000 last time, and he's let down real strong.
He has. He's got tremendous gate speed. He's got a good high cruising speed as well, but he's not one-dimensional. If they tend to outpace him early, he can take the sit. But his biggest bonus is that he has got that good gate speed.
And the return to 1200, obviously, no qualms there, I wouldn't have thought, given his form previously.
No, 1200 is not a concern. I think the main concern is the gate. He's got his work cut out, but yeah, the trip's not a big concern at all.
What about the weight, Doug? He's got a bit more weight to carry as well, which is noticeable, I suppose, on this C+3.
Weight stops trains, I suppose, but he's a big boy. He's a big unit. He's heavy. It's probably the least of my worries with him. It's more about the draw and the tempo.
How has he come out of the race? I mean, has his work been just as good as it was leading into last time?
Yeah, he's very workmanship-like. He's very straightforward, really, but he's held his form.
So the draw, the concern for Douglas White with Majestic Night. Tom, you would have to imagine it's going to be the concern also for Colourful Emperor, but can't fault the way he is racing.
No, he's had a great back end of the season, has Colourful Emperor. This season overall, he's only missed a top 4 on one occasion, but the draw has to be the concern. He's been doing all this from good draws inside, middle of the line. This time round, he looks just to get stranded, I think.
Yeah, look, it's going to be tough. I mean, from out there in 12, and look, not forgetting as well, he's gone up £10 for this win also, so that's a massive impost. I know he's up in grade, hence he will carry a lighter weight, but officially he's gone up £10, so he's taking on some much better types now.
And there is his record at Happy Valley. 7 starts, 3 wins, 3 placings, just 1 out of the top 4 finish for Colourful Emperor. On we go, Nick, to Superb Capitalist now. He's another one that is going to show pace in the race, and he was very good last time, beating Beauty Infinity. Bowled it in by 4 lengths.
He did, yeah, and look, worse still, unlike just like the horse we've just previewed, this guy's gone up £11, so they've really given him a decent old swipe here on the back of this win, so he's now on a career high. Look, this was a tidy win in Class 3, but he's at a different level come Wednesday night.
I've left him out in the end, to be honest. Superb Capitalist, I think it's a lot tougher, this assignment for him this time round, so it does worry me that he's got more rating points here. 35 days since his last run. He's trialled well, but there's a lot of pace in this race, which I don't think suits him. He's very one-dimensional, I think. He
is, although they did try him off the pace in that trial too, so we'll see what they do in this race. What about this horse, Tom? Tomodachi Kokoro. It's been a story and a half. He's now won 4 times over the 1,200 metres. He's won a trial at Chung Fa. He races a number of horses. We've heard from Douglas around Majestic Night. But he also has a very good draw this week, Tomodachi Kokoro.
He does. Whoever thought the North Queensland Flyer was going to line up in a Group 2 race here in Hong Kong with some of his form that he brought over here. It was a bit, well, he was winning, but they were in substandard races that he's come here and fronted up. He's dropped a fair bit of weight, so I don't know whether it's a concern or not. First up here for a month and a half or so. £32 he's dropped for this. Yeah,
no, he's done well. Look, I think we were all guilty of rolling our eyes at his form previously, but we have to take it back now. He's done a great job. He's well drawn and he's won a trial, and as Tom said, he's dropped a bit of weight, so you know, he could be in for a big run.
He certainly had the last laugh, has Tomodachi Kokoro. That is a look at runners in race number 9. Tom, how did you sort out the top 4?
I went with one right down towards the bottom here, and that is Humble Star, who's coming into this with a good performance last time out for 4th. He's off a rating of 80, so off with maybe £119 if Vincent puts up a couple over. I'm going to put Tomodachi Kokoro in because he's going to get the right sort of run behind the pace here. He's been fresh and didn't do a great deal in the Sprint Cup, but of course he's been very good at Happy Valley. Majestic Night from the draw, maybe a little bit awkward for him, but I still think he can run well. And Gummy Gummy, centre of the line draw for him, horse number 7. 12, 4, 2 and 7.
Yeah, I think this race is set up for a bit of an upset potentially, and I'm going to go the way of another one down towards the bottom of the handicap, a bit like Tom in Nordic Dragon. Number 11 here, I think they'll go very, very quick, and he'll be staying on hopefully nicely off a strong pace. Majestic Night in for 2nd, he's holding his form well. Tomodachi Kokoro goes in from a good run. I put Colourful Emperor in, but he has got more to do this time around. 11, 2, 4, 5.
That is race number 9. A reminder, all races are previewed on the website, hkjc.com. Click on audio and video for that race-by-race analysis. We need your best bet, please, Tom.
Best bet, well, it does come up in race number 7 as number 8, Fast Serve. I think he can gallop off the front and lead them up here. Even though there's plenty of pace in the race, I think he should be able to stay on and win. The Khan for Andrea Atzini and Casper Founds ran well in a race in the early stages, which wasn't really run to suit him last time out. They were outside standards, and then they were outside standard for the 3rd section as well. So I thought it was a good performance from him, considering. So he certainly goes in, does the Khan. For Casper Founds, I think he's building closer to a win. And the play with race number 8, Red Hair King, barrier drawn wide for him, Sweetbriar and Jumbo Legend.
Yeah, best bet for me on Wednesday night, race 7, number 10, Youthful Spirits. He might be a half-decent price as well. And here's a look at his most recent run. Now, he was beaten here. Beauty Waves, who reopposes, got the better of him. But there was only a head between them, and he's certainly better off at the weights with the horse in the pink sleeves this time around. So, look, he's given it a good go here. He's only gone down by a narrow margin, and I think he's value for a bit more coming into this race. This time in can turn the form around. Long shot, race 9, number 11, Nordic Dragon. There'll be plenty of pace on here. He has won from off the pace in the past. And race 5 is the play, numbers 1, 5, 7 for me.
Silver Up has a new stable. He's now with Danny Shumlol. Hewitson takes the ride. He's had 2 trials. They've both been good. Really good draw, barrier 2 on the C+3. Green Lasers won off a rating of 18 over the 2,200 metres. He runs off a rating of 17 in the first. And to play race 8 QQP 1, 4 and 7. Looking forward to the diary and the big day, of course, on Sunday with the Standard Chartered Champions and Chater Trackside live from 12:15 and a Sha Tin dirt meeting coming up on Wednesday the 29th. But it is all, Nick, about Wednesday night and Sunday at this stage.
It certainly is, yeah. Can't wait for Sunday. Hopefully the rain stays away, Tom.
Yeah, it's been a bit iffy this week, so it looks like it might clear up for the weekend.
Well, we'll find out. That has been Racing to Win. We'll see you for the first on Wednesday nights at 6:40.